guys, Miss University here, and today I'm going to show you how to make steaks on a stove. Okay, so why is it that I chose to show you guys how to cook a steak on a stove top? I personally love steak. It is my favorite kind of food, and it will never change in a billion years. Now, I have a Angus skillet cut piece of meat right here, all beef, and you can get this at any grocery store. You can probably buy 2 pieces of this type of steak cut for under $8. I know it sounds expensive, but there's cheaper cuts and stuff, but I personally like the Angus cut, and I like how thin it is, and it'll make it easier to cook through on the stove. Now, these are what I use for my seasoning. I use Famous Dave's steak and burger seasoning. You can use this for hamburgers as well, and I use this for my steak. It has this like sweet, savory type taste to it that it gives the steak. I use seasoned salt, and I use black pepper. So next this is what I'm going to do. I am going to pour a generous amount of seasoning on top of the steak. Okay. You want to be careful because it's famous. If you get Famous Dave's, and no, I am not a promoter, just showing you guys how to cook. Famous Dave is really strong seasoning, so beware, you will cough around. Now, you don't have to use the rubs that I use. You can use your own rubs. You can use like garlic salt, garlic powder, and just salt and pepper, or you can use like there's some type of seasonings that have like this type of blend where it just have all types of blends of seasoning mixed together. So, and then you just flip it over and do the same exact thing on the next side. And now I'm going to cut these vegetables up. I have a orange pepper, a red pepper, a yellow pepper, and a sweet onion. I like to use the onion because I like to put it on top of my steak, of course. And I like to use these peppers just to bring some color to my dish. Okay, so I'm going to take my onion and I'm going to take off all this extra little stuff on it, or whatever you call it. I'm not even sure what you call it. So I'm going to take it off. Got all this extra stuff that I just took off the onion, and I'm going to put it into a bowl. Instead of like taking extra trips to the trash can every time you have trash, I just recommend having a big bowl and putting all of your trash in that. So you're going to take your onion and take a knife. I have a little piercing. Now you're going to just take your onion and take a knife and cut down on the side. Get that little tail off. Like sometimes I call it the eyeball of the onion. And you're just going to want to cut down on the side. I like cut out a couple of rings. That's all. You don't need that much unless you're cooking more than just one steak. I'm just gonna add one more. Okay. Make sure to wash your vegetables because you don't know what they have encountered while in the grocery store or whatnot. So yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the vegetables and you're just going to put them in here. And you hear the sizzling? Yeah. So you just want to put them with your skillet in the oil. Just shake them up, saute them a bit. You can add some salt to get some flavor to them and whatnot. So next you have your vegetables still cooking, and now you have your steak. What I like to put on my steaks while they're cooking, I like to put this extra Chicago steak seasoning as well. And it's a Weber grill flavor or brand, I'm going to say. So you take the steak and you're just going to want to go ahead and just drop it inside. You can drop it on top of the vegetables if you like. Yeah, just make sure it fits. I know my steak is really big, so yeah. And I like to cover the steak up. Okay, so we had the steak cooking for a couple minutes on the stove. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the stove top, and you see it cooking, and you see all the peppers and whatnot, all the onions cooking in there. So you want to take a thong, pair of thongs, or you can take a fork if you have a smaller steak to flip, and you're just going to want to flip it right over. So I've been cooking the steak for 8-9 minutes now, and I'm pretty sure it's almost done. I've been flipping and whatnot to it. See it's just sizzling. You can just hear it smells really good. Take all the peppers and put it as well on top. Make it look colorful. And that's how I make my steak. And I'm just gonna let it rest for a couple of minutes just so it can cool down and get itself together. Because you don't want to just dig right in, you know. Hey there guys, so I'm going to also be making a garlic mashed potato dish for my steak. So the things that you're going to need is a large potato, a piercing knife for your potato to get the skin off, and I'm going to be adding garlic powder, garlic salt. You can even make up your own, like blend your own garlic if you choose to, if you like to go all natural and all by scrap. I am also going to be adding some green onions to my dish as well to bring some color and some more flavor. So what you want to do next, you're going to want to take a bowl and you're going to want to take your potato, and of course you want to start taking the skin off. So we're going to begin there. So now you have your potato all unskinned. So you're going to want to take your cutting board and you're going to want to chop these into little tiny square pieces or cube pieces. So I have all my potatoes cut up into cubes like this. So as I said before, the reason why I do this is because it's easier. So I'm just going to drop these in the oil and I'm going to let it cook and simmer up the potatoes, and it just really helps when you cook it through first, because then it'll be easier for you to smash while it's in the pot cooking. So now we're just going to go over to the pot.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Hey, what up, girl?